Меняем свечи на Volkswagen. 100 тысяч, никогда свечи не были поменены. Смотри. Я такое не видел. Я первый раз в жизни такое вижу. Как она еще ездила, я не могу понять. Okay guys, another thing is, on this, if you have a regular 5/8 spark plug socket like I had here, it won't work. You actually need an extended one because the spark plug is, this part here is longer than normal on the original ones. So you're gonna want one of these longer ones. And then once you actually remove the spark plug, you're gonna need a magnet tool, unless you actually have the one that works with the rubber piece inside, to get it out, right? So it's pretty straightforward. Guys, I highly recommend that you buy new coils, because if this will happen to you, you're gonna have to just wait until the new coils come out and your car's not gonna be drivable. So I bought these Delphi coils. There's the part number. And they're cheap. I think they're only like $30 some or $40 or something each. But this is the original on the left and the Delphi on the right. They're a little bit different in design, but overall pretty similar. Alright guys, so spark plugs are in. New coil packs. Tighten the bottom one down first, put the wire on, tighten the top one on. Both of them are 10 millimeters. Clip, 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 clip in. Attach the clamp back, air intake. Next, we're going to be replacing this, I believe they're called vapor canister purge valve. Okay, I'm diagnosing a misfire, and either this, the spark plugs, the coil packs, or the oil separator, which I'm also replacing, is the problem. All these parts were relatively cheap, so I figured if I'm under here anyway, I'm just gonna knock it all out, so we won't have any issues in the future. Okay, so basically what I'm going to show you is to remove it with the drill, just to save time. Of course, you never want to put a spark plug in with the drill because you'll strip the threads. So you're going to want to do that by hand. But to just remove the spark plug, okay, there, it's out. So set this aside. Take your long magnet tool, get the spark plug, and there it is. Okay, and you can also examine to see if you're running rich. Look at that thing. That's never been replaced. Unbelievable. It's absolutely amazing how people take care of cars. I can't even understand how this thing was running. I mean, just for comparison purposes, guys, look at this. Look at that. I mean, this is just way beyond replacement. 100,000 mile plug, never been replaced. I guarantee you. Alright guys, on these newer 1.8 motors, Passats and Jettas and whatnot, just want to show you real quick how to. So when you do spark plugs in this, it's a two-piece design for the coil. So there's a top part, and then there's going to be the bottom part, which is this part. So when you pull on here, you're going to pull this guy off. This will come off, and then you're going to be stuck with just this piece in there. So this car has 104,000 miles, and apparently it's never had spark plugs done, which is amazing. I just got the thing. So what happened with me was I was pulling so hard on this rubber piece. By the way, the guy that was showing how you put a 6 millimeter in here and then pull it, yeah, that didn't do anything for me, because I guess these are so old, and they were literally essentially melted, I'm guessing, on top of the spark plug. That's why they're so difficult to come off. So with me, this thing actually ended up cracking right there. That's the rubber part It's actually, I don't even understand what kind of design, why they designed it this way. I've never seen these flexible tubes, or not as flexible at least, but regardless, it snapped and this was way deep in there. So I took these needle nose pliers and tried to pull on it, nothing. Okay, so then what did I do? I took this PB blaster. You just put some PB blaster inside and also on the outside. By the way, this spring, this also actually just came out. It's just inside there. And then after that was in there, what happens is when it gets all the way in there on the spark plug, it loosens up a little bit so you can actually pull this out. But I couldn't believe how difficult it was. I guess it was melted onto the onto the top part of the spark plug, I'm guessing, over the years. But it's very, very simple, straightforward. 4 connectors, 1, 2, 3, 4. Press here and then pull all this out. Disconnect here so you have some room. You don't have to take the whole tube out. 4 coil packs, 4 spark plugs, 10 millimeters for these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the longer ones are going to be on the bottom. There's 4 of those as well. And it's very straightforward after that. Spark plugs are easily accessible. Oh yeah, he was right about this connector. Remove that thing because you're going to end up breaking it once you pull this one up. Okay guys, again, so very simple. Torx attachment, 8 bolts. Alright guys, so once those T30 bolts, all of them are out, including this top one here, which looks like that. You're going to take a screwdriver, stick it in so you can get some leverage on that hose. So the hose over here that leads to this piece right here. It's all one piece. Put it right here and just pull back, and it'll just come out after you take this bolt out. Alright guys, next we're replacing this, I believe it's oil separator. Oil separator. Okay, here we go. It's this right here. Looks like there's a bunch of Torx screws all around. Looks like 8 or something like that. Probably look like Torx T30s. So remove those. Remove the hoses. There's one hose there. I think that's it. And I'm guessing this whole thing will just pop right up. Easiest way is to get the hoses off of here and here. Is to just use these vice grips, clamp on it, not too hard, and then just work your way down. Here's the part number for the purge valve. Very simple. Clamp here, undo, pull this off very carefully and gently because these may break. Connector. Press right there, pull it out. Hose right here. Clamp, pull this hose out. New one goes in. By the way guys, I was going to ask you if anybody knows what this is, this part here. Could you let me know in the comments? There's no part number or anything on it, so I just wanted to know what that thing was. It's kind of right by the intake manifold, or the this would be the exhaust manifold. See this little back part where the hose goes in? So there's actually 2 notches right there, and when you press that hose in, when you press this hose in this way, you're going to hear it click on the bottom. And then make sure you put this this bolt in. This holds in that hose so it doesn't fly out. Guys, real quick for the oil filter, it's kind of a big socket you need. It's a 1 1/4. So that just goes like that, and then you're going to be able to get it off this way. Old and new oil separator. There's where that piece goes, the pipe from the back. Right here, guys, you're going to want to clean up the sides. Don't drop anything in there. And then this just goes back in. I did have to remove that coil again in this one. And that's it. Put the new one back in and you should be good to go. Alright guys, so for the drain plug, it's a T45 bit. And I wanted to show you something I did with this grinder. So I hate taking off those bottom panels every single time. So what I actually did was basically just cut open a hole like this. This plate, usually on BMWs and stuff like that, or not all BMWs, but some of them, they have a little access panel that you can just open like this and close it back. So what we're going to do is just put two mount attachments right there, and I'll have this little door here that I can just pop open, drain the oil, close it back. And I'll show you. Here is the actual drain plug. T45, and in proximity, if you need to know where it's located, right here, right where you see that line right there, right next to that line, here's the oil pan, and here's going to be somewhere the transmission fluid pan, so make sure you don't get them mixed up. So I want to show you guys how nice it drains here with this little access panel. Don't have to worry about taking this thing off. I believe it's 5 liters of oil. I have to check. Alright guys, so we ended up installing this oil separator, new one. There's the old unit, and there's the new one. New evap, 4 new coil packs with new spark plugs. So I'm hoping that this will alleviate the misfire that we had. Next, just going to do a quick oil change, and we'll be on our way. I'm actually amazed how small, I'm used to working on BMWs, how small this oil filter is. It's tiny. But yeah, so we're gonna swap that out. Oil should be good to go. I forgot to mention one more thing, guys. The reason I also did the oil separator, car had a very high rate consumption of motor oil, almost as if it was burning it. So usually that's a common symptom of a failed PCV or oil separator valve. So that's another reason why we did that. Alright guys, so basically swapped out the oil filter. Where you just pull the old one out. There's a little gasket that you change on the actual canister itself. Just put the new one in, and then torque this down. I have it set to about 15 foot-pounds roughly. And then fill it up with 6 quarts of this liquid moly 540, and you'll be good to go. Alright guys, so when I had it started up the vehicle, runs absolutely smooth. I mean, before we were having, oh man, this thing was dying out, it was misfiring, a bunch of things. So seems to be running extremely smoothly now with no issues. So what do? Oil separator, the evap, canister, the purge valve rather, oil change, spark plugs, and all the coil packs, and that's it. I mean, it was maybe, I would say, $300 worth of parts altogether, and car's back to normal.